Did you know that in Robocop Rogue City, you can find a wanted poster that describes a man who is a fan of Japanese anime and fantasy RPGs? The description of the man's appearance is also pretty funny, so I'm guessing that this man is one of Rogue City's developers. Hello and welcome to Hidden Video Game Details. Make sure to leave your suggestions in the comments down below, and if you're feeling extra kind, please consider clicking subscribe if you haven't already. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's start today's video with Counter-Strike 2. Now, chickens have always been a big part of my personal Counter-Strike experience. I mean, who could forget the video where I recruited an army of chickens that would follow my every move? Well, in Counter-Strike 2, we're less interested in the chickens when they're alive and are more interested in them when they are dead. If you set a chicken on fire in Counter-Strike 2, this will happen. So the poor defenseless chickens will turn into tasty looking poor defenseless roast chickens. Unfortunately, there is no way to actually eat the cooked chicken for a quick health boost. Next up is Cyberpunk 2077. Now, during the Phantom Liberty DLC, you reunite Reed with his old friend Alex. It's safe to say that they have some catching up to do. I mean, Reed even says so.
Alex and I have some catching up to do.
At this point, you're supposed to leave the bar and carry on with the game. However, if you wait outside of the bar, you can actually hear Reed and Alex continue their conversation even though you're supposed to be long gone.
Surprised you didn't pack up. You're alone. You stayed on and on like those freaking talkers.
I couldn't have gone home even if I wanted to. As to what kept me here, must have been something.
Which begs the question, mate. What about me? Why couldn't I get things?
Now, I don't know about you, but I think that this is really cool. To actually have dialogue recorded just in case players decided to wait around is next level attention to detail. Now, the Phantom Liberty DLC is a fantastic addition to the base game, but there is a chance that you could lock yourself out of the expansion entirely. During the Hole in the Sky quest, which takes place pretty much at the start of the DLC, you're supposed to rush to the President's crashed transport. However, if you take your sweet time, this will happen.
Oh, fucking motherfucking fuck!
What?
Congrats, B. You just killed Rosalind Myers and fucked the NUSA.
Get a grip. Tried my best to help.
Trying doesn't cut it, B.
Sure she's dead? I mean, really sure?
I'm sure. Pray we don't meet again, and I mean ever.
Ah!
Still with us?
What happened?
Your presidential rescue op. Miserable failure. Honestly though, good fucking riddance.
Okay. So now what?
We go on living. Start by finding us a drink.
So if you don't make it to the President in time, the mission is failed and you will no longer be able to play the DLC. Okay, you could just load a previous autosave, but you get my point. Up next is Assassin's Creed Mirage. Now, one of my favourite details from Assassin's Creed Valhalla was performing a leap of faith, then staying in the hay so that the other person got worried. Well, you can sort of do the same in Mirage. After performing a leap of faith at the Assassin's training camp, you can do this.
Steady, Basim. Steady.
Leave! No!
Yes, Master!
I've seen enough. We will try again tomorrow. Are you going to live in that haystack, Basim?
Okay, so it's not as fun as it was in Valhalla, but it's still worth a mention. The other hidden detail from Mirage is arguably not that hidden. but it's something that I'd like to see more games do. In the options menu, there's an option to toggle the iconic colour filter, which makes Assassin's Creed Mirage look like the original Assassin's Creed games. Like I said, it's a cool feature that I wish that more games would add. Next up is Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Now, in fighting games, the focus is usually on the fighters, but today's Tekken Tag Tournament 2 details requires us to focus on what's happening in the background. First up, on the Bountiful Sea stage, if you knock your opponent to the floor, this will happen. So the innocent fisherman is sent for an early bath, thanks to the commotion behind him. Next up is the Festive Parade map, which sees fighters doing battle on a balcony whilst a parade takes place nearby. This is one of the game stages that can be made bigger thanks to a breakable wall. And if you break the wall, a poor waiter will be left stranded with no way to safety. And if you get too close to the waiter, he will do this. So the waiter will run in the funniest way possible to avoid the fight. There are probably loads more cool things hidden in the background of Tekken Tag 2 stages, so if you know of any, please let me know in the comments. Right, let's end today's video with Spider-Man 2. Before I go any further, this part of the video will contain some slight spoilers, so if you haven't played Spider-Man 2 yet and plan on doing so, you can leave a like and close the video. Now, in the Spider-Man 2 video I uploaded last week, I mentioned that you could visit the graves of loved ones, and that the dialogue your chosen Spider-Man would say would change depending on where you are in the story. The thing is, I didn't really do a good job of demonstrating that in the video, so here we are. Now, you probably know that when you visit Aunt May's grave early in the game, Peter will say this.
So much to tell you, May. Harry's back. We're working together. Parker luck might be turning around.
Well, if you visit it whilst under the influence of the symbiote, Peter will say this.
No more helping one at a time. Not with this suit.
And if you visit the grave after completing the story, he will say this.
Parker Luck's back with a vengeance.
Now, perhaps the most well-known Easter egg in the original Spider-Man game was the proposal that didn't go as planned. Long story short, a fan of Spider-Man asked Insomniac if they would let him propose to his girlfriend in-game, which Insomniac kindly said yes to. The thing is, his girlfriend didn't say yes, and things got messy with talks of cheating and other things that you wouldn't really want the public knowing. Now, some of you may be wondering if the proposal is still in the game, and if it isn't, what was it changed to? Well, the entire theatre that the message was displayed on is now a hospital, but not just any old hospital, it's a heart clinic. Now, in my opinion, there is no way that this is not intentional. The place where a man had his heart broken, becoming a heart clinic, is too on the nose to be a coincidence. But as always, let me know what you think. Now, the final detail for today's video is perhaps the coolest detail in all of Spider-Man 2. Yes, even cooler than solving a Rubik's Cube as you hurtle towards the ground. The Into the Spider-Verse SB suit is unlocked at level 33. And as you probably know, is the same suit that Miles wore in the first Spider-Verse movie. You may also know that in the movie, Miles bought the suit from a store owned by the late great Stan Lee. Now, what you may not have known is that if you enter photo mode and look underneath the suit's cape, a tag from Stan Lee's shop can be found, with the catchphrase of, "It always fits eventually." This is a cool nod to a line said by Stan Lee in the movie. And sadly, probably the closest we'll get to a Stan Lee cameo in Spider-Man 2.
Can I return it if it doesn't fit?
It always fits. Eventually.
So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. Be sure to subscribe for more Easter eggs and details from your favourite games. Thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.